a lot of people will be like, say, don't do nothing unless they're paying you. Fam, I did a lot without getting paid, and I still do a lot of things without getting paid. If I decided tomorrow, I'm changing my career path again, I want to be an architect, I might have to go and intern. Fam, Kanye West interned.
To the people that don't know you, can you introduce yourself? Like, who are you and what do you do?
So I go by the name of Mr. Midas. I'm a video game TV presenter and content producer. I've been in this space for a long time, creating awareness, creating massive cultural differences. I stepped in the space because for me it's super important for black people to be seen in this space. We spend bare money in it, so make sure you represent us as well. And yeah, man, I'm just a guy who just loves gaming, innit?
Yeah. So obviously you took a pretty uncommon route into the gaming industry. So for people that don't know, you used to do music and then you took the transition into gaming. Why did you kind of make that jump? It's
really weird because even though I was a recording artist for years, like the plan was to be the sickest dancehall artist. Weren't to work in gaming, it was always, that was the plan. And while I was trying to blow up in the music industry, I was on a TV show like many moons ago, back on T4, called Musical, and that was my first kind of taster into TV, and I was like, right, I like this TV world, and I proper got on with the camera crew and everything, and I was always talking to camera, and everyone was like, right, you're not shy. I'm like, yeah, because there's no such thing as a shy dancehall artist. You can't be like, why them up? No, yeah, you hear me? You got to be bossy with it. So that kind of got me into the whole TV, and I'm really interested in cameras, and I'll talk to the lighting men and blah, blah, blah. So off the back of that, a few years later, I got into presenting, but it was still within the music world. So I presented on Kiss and For Music and for Flavor TV, and I was doing all this really cool presenting stuff, but it was always music related. Yeah. But back to your question, I've been a gamer my whole life. I've been a gamer since I was a little youth, and I was gaming way before music was anything in my life. And then when EGX started blowing off again, it was at it was cool. I remember going and I took my little brother and I was just gassed. I was engrossed. I was like seeing all the games and stuff, and I was like, do you know what? Let me start watching gaming content. So I went on IGN, sick content, no black people. Went on GameSpot, sick content, no black people. And I was just going on all of these platforms that created that professional looking magazine style gaming stuff. No one looked like me. Yeah. But you hear me? I'm not a complainer, I'm a do it. So it's like, you know what? You lot don't want to create a space for us, I'll create a space for us. So came up with a team, and we came up with a concept which is Games, Gadgets and Rhymes, which was on GRM, which is most people's first kind of introduction to me in gaming. Yeah, 100%. I think for me, like my first introduction to you, obviously we got mutuals, but that was where I first saw you. Like you was doing stuff with like Jesse Lingard and like various people. So I was like, who's this guy? Like, because I've never seen like you said, there's not much representation for like people like us like on screen. Yeah. So to see you kind of like kick down that door and be like, oh, it kind of said to me, oh, you can really jump into this game and do it. Obviously, so before gaming, you said you was on television. Yeah. So how did you initially make that step from just being Midas, like normal guy, to actually getting onto television in the first place? Well, firstly, thank you. I appreciate that. What you're saying, that it is so important to be able to be in that space and allow us to be seen. But yeah, to be honest with you, like fam, I've always been a hustler. I used to sell lollipops in school, fam. Like I'm telling you, it's so weird in school. Like we weren't allowed out until we was at a certain year, and then when we was allowed out, I'd go and I'd get a list from all who wants McDonald's. I'd go to McDonald's, buy McDonald's for everyone, and then I'll keep all the change. Like, so I was always hustling about creating something. Like the 9 to 5 was never really the plan that was ever in my forefront, and music was my biggest passion. Music was my love, and that's what I was good at. So I always understood how to network and stuff like that, and that was always kind of my biggest strength. So when I decided, oh, I want to do this TV thing, the first thing I did was I hit up a magazine who have a TV show. I'm just like, should we do something together? Yeah. I didn't even know what creating content meant. I just knew I wanted to present something. So I took an idea to them and I was like, we can do this and that. And then they provided a camera crew. They wouldn't even pay me. I didn't ask for no money. I literally just did it for free. I didn't even know if I was meant to be paid to do this thing. And I was doing a couple things here and there, and then I got spotted and contacted by the people I was on a TV show for, and they're like, oh, you're presenting now, we've got an actual show we want you to come and audition for. And the stuff for Kiss and For Music, like I weren't just given, I had to audition for all of those stuff, just like every single other person. So yeah, for me, it was just like, I love this and I want to do it. It's not even about how much P I can get.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do it?
Yeah. So no show reel, nothing. You literally just hit out the magazine and was like, look, I want to do some stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, no real. But what worked for my benefit is the year before, they asked me to headline their show.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, because like I said, I had a profile as a recording artist.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they was like, all right, come in and mind this.
Okay, so you kind of leveraged your dancehall back. Like,
yeah, so I was
okay,
leveraging, because that's what commerce is, isn't it? It's about leveraging. One of the biggest advice I always give people is leverage the skills that you do have against what you need. Because that's what it is. It goes back to years ago before we used money. What used to happen is you would work on a farm and you'd have chickens, and I would work on a farm and I would cows, and then I'll give you milk and meat, and you'll give me eggs and meat.
Yeah.
So that same commerce is what I do in a modern day with my skill set.
Yeah, I mean, those skills are proper applicable to like business and stuff, like you just said. So obviously back then, was that something that was in your mind at the time, or did you just by pure happenstance kind of just manage to leverage what you had going for you anyway?
No,
Like,
fam, I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah,
I was just like, I just
yeah.
want to get it done. How can I get it done?
Yeah.
And you're the closest thing. Like, Channel 4 is not going to answer my call,
Yeah.
but I know you've called me and asked, you've basically, so when I met Flavor, they met me at the Urban Music Awards. So I won my award. They invited me to the event. And then they contacted me and they're like, oh, can you come and perform? So obviously I perform. So we started to build that relationship. So me, instantly, as soon as I want to present something, I'm like, oh, they do something.
Yeah.
Let me reach out to them, rather than trying to call Channel 4, who's just going to air me, or trying to call Kiss, who's just going to air me. Let me leverage what's around me.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So at the time, how old were you at this time?
I think I was about, so when I came off TV, so I must have been about 24 around these times.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've now made the jump into gaming. Like you're on various platforms and shows. Like you've done a presenting for Kiss and whatnot. So what was the next stage for you then to actually get to where you are now? Like, kind of take us along that timeline.
All right, cool. So actually coming up with an idea for a show, what a lot of people don't realize is GGR, Games, Gadgets and Rhymes. We created that. So me, a guy called Richie Dress, we put a team together, incredible videographer, Alex, my little brother, and we all put this idea together and brought it to GRM.
Yeah.
It wasn't, most people think GRM paid me to do that show. I didn't go like that.
Did they not?
No, I didn't earn a penny of GRM.
Oh,
We
wow.
came up with a concept
Yeah.
and was like, look, I want black faces to be seen in gaming, black people to be seen in gaming. Who do I know? Like, who's got numbers and who can speak to the audience I want to speak to? So our platforms are SBTV, GRM, Link Up. SBTV was kind of dying out. Link Up was still on a come up. GRM, I know Posty, leverage those skills. Call Posty. He's like, all right, speak to this person from my team. Sat down, had a meeting and pitched the idea there and then. Listen, when I did GGR, I did 2 seasons and paid for it myself. Didn't
So
earn
the
a
whole
penny.
production budget
So the first 2 seasons we paid for. We didn't get no money.
Oh, wow.
Literally, we didn't get no money. Like, we were buying games.
Yeah.
Like, fam, we got Dave and AJ Tracy on our show. We bought the games for them to play.
Oh, mad.
I had to go to the venue and be like, negotiate them allow me to use the thing. So people only get to see the out of you and like, wow, GRM's got this gaming show and they're paying him to do it. No, fam.
Yeah.
I didn't earn no money until season 3.
Oh, wow.
3 seasons until I earned a penny. It was costing me.
From GGR, obviously, the show ended, and then where did you go from there? And then kind of like bring us from then up until now.
Yeah, so I would say, so season 3 of GGR is when I got first sponsor, and that was with Bandai. Now, the secret sauce of GGR was I was on the biggest black platform for urban entertainment, which is GRM Daily. Like, they were incredible and they supported what man did and the vision. So I had that platform and I had their numbers and I had their audience. but I was dealing with all of the gaming contacts directly. It was me who's making the calls. It was me who's making the emails. So I started building my own relationship with all of these brands, and these brands were like, oh, Midas is the gaming guy. I start kind of building that. So that started to grow for me to start being able to do other kind of presenting things, bits here and bits there. Because in the forefront, I'm a presenter. In the gaming space, being a presenter isn't the norm. You're a streamer or a YouTuber. That was never the plan. I'm always a presenter. That's what I love. That's my passion. What GRM Daily and GGR made me do is become a producer.
Okay.
Not even realizing.
So for people that don't know, what is a producer? Like, what comes with that title?
So the producer's job is to produce the content. So we're talking, say for example, say me and you was like, we want to do a show about skydiving. All right, but before we can do a show about skydiving, the producer needs to know where we're going to be able to skydive, what's the laws, where can we shoot, who's going to be shooting, who's going to be on the day, where's food coming from, what's the emergency service, who's writing the script, like all of that. So it's basically the arranger. That's all the producer is. The producer's job is to arrange everything, put it in one place, so then on the day, the director and the videographers can do what their job is. So I was producing, not even knowing I was a producer, and negotiating and kind of growing myself in gaming. And then I sat down with some really prominent people in gaming, and they were like, Midas, you're a sick presenter, but you're a sick producer as well. And I was like, rah! You see him as a producer, yeah? Not even knowing, fam, that day I went home, I put producer on my business card, not even knowing, because for me, I just wanted us to be seen. So that was the whole plan. And the thing with GRM, with GGR, because by this time, so we ended up doing 4.5 seasons. Each season I had to get sponsors because, like I said, GRM wasn't paying. And then by season 3, I weren't paying anymore. So it was like, I had to get, so in between that stuff, so I started doing other things. And yeah, just to presenting in events and just not negotiating, just networking, like network. Your net worth is your net worth. So networking and really kind of building a rapport of who Mr. Midas is as a presenter, as a gamer. And then that kind of took me until when I got picked up by Jinx TV for my first show with them, WTF.
Okay, so just to touch on the producer side of things, obviously you was putting up the budget for GGR for a while. So how much, for example, would you say it will cost to in today's climate to actually produce a series like that? So so one season of GGR, like what can you say, like if you had to put it into a figure?
So it's mad, yeah, because I was very lucky on GGR where I was able to leverage a lot of costs that would have cost a lot more money than we actually had. So Alex, our videographer and graphics guy, he wanted to build content within the gaming industry as well. So we got him at expenses where he would cost way more than we had in budget. And then like venues, we was able to leverage post on GRM's website, which would cost a certain amount of money. So but I would say realistically to be able to shoot in this economic climate of where we are right now, I would say venue's gonna cost you at least, like say for example, you're gonna do your series over a month. You're looking 2 to 6 bags for your venue. A good videographer who's got like equipment, 2 camera setup, 2 lighting for once a week. You're looking at probably at least 3 to 4 bags. And then talent, if you're the talent yourself, you don't get paid. But if you got somebody else as talent, you're gonna have to pay their talent fees. And then like food, I had to buy food from guests. So every time the guest comes to the studio, I would be buying Nando's and chips or drink and stuff like that. So they've got things to eat and snacks and travel. So realistically, you can get into those grands, but this is where especially as young people are creative as hell, and you can always learn how to kind of get something for something. So like you might have a brethren who's he's in the studio and he's good with sound, so he can come and you can say, fam, I'll buy you a Nando's, innit? He can come and be your sound man for the day and stuff like that. So yes, to do a proper production is expensive, but also as well, most people don't even watch that kind of production on anymore. Like when you watch most people's content on YouTube, people are usually more used to just a one single angle camera. They're not used to seeing 3 camera angles in stuff anymore, unless they're watching something on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff at obviously a lot lower cost level, but yeah, to do something on that kind of production, if you ain't leveraging stuff, it's going to cost you a P.
Yeah, I guess that way it just comes back to leveraging your friends, leveraging people you know, et cetera, et cetera. So from there, obviously you said you started doing the presenting on Jinx.
Yeah.
So what were your kind of, you were just a presenter on Jinx, or was you a producer as well?
Yeah, so that's the first time in my career that I was able to just be a presenter.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's the first time. It's the first time I actually had another producer, a guy called Matt, incredible producer, and I work with him. And that, like, I'm sick at what I do. I know I'm sick at what I do, but that helped leverage me grow as a presenter. Because other than when I was on TV in my music days, 90% of the stuff I'm in, I'm producing myself.
Yeah.
So there's only so much I can really push myself, because like I'm producing, then I go behind camera.
Yeah.
And then I'm back and I'm helping move stuff around and making sure food's order. Then I'm behind camera. But to actually have a producer that's sitting there interacting with me all of the time changed the game for me.
So how would you say it changed that? But is it by way of allowing you to just focus on just the presenting side of things and like working on those skills, or would you say it was something else?
So I'll say it's 3 things. So the first thing would be having someone push me out of my comfort zone. So the first thing that I had to do there that I've never done is in-air. So basically live in-air is, for anyone who doesn't know, is when you're talking and presenting, someone's talking in your ear at the same time. So, but you have to talk like normal and not react to that person talking in your ear.
Okay.
So weird. Like so weird. Even worse, we never had a script.
Yeah.
So I'm used to writing a script, learning my words and thinking. So I got to talk from my brain about specific facts and getting all of the factual information correct, as well as have someone talking in my ears. So hard, like probably one of the biggest skill set that I had to learn. So that would be the first. The second is to relinquish control. I'm used to being the boss.
guy.
Yeah, I'm everything. Where
Yeah.
now I got this guy telling me what to do
Yeah.
and telling me when I'm messing up and telling me how I should do it. And being able to let that go is so powerful, to actually say, do you know what? You're here for a reason. Your job's for a reason. You're the producer. I'm not. Let me allow you to do your job, to produce something that is great for both of us. And then the third thing I would say is being able to elevate my skill set, because I'm just doing that skill set.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're a runner, if you're doing track and field, if you have to run and set your watch and write your notes, you're doing 3 jobs. So you're not gonna, but if you've got a trainer and he's writing your notes and he's tracking, all you're doing is running.
Yeah.
Like literally, you're just blinkers on, you're focused on that one job, and you can actually improve doing that one job.
Yeah, so I guess it freed up a lot of headspace for you to just focus on what you were saying.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that being said, so what skills did it allow you to focus on? So like, for the people at home that maybe want to get into presenting, like for Jinx or whoever, like what skills, if you had to give 5 skills to them to work on, and like these skills are going to help you get into that role, or get that position, or even do something for themselves.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend they work on?
Well, the first thing you have to be is super comfortable within yourself, being able to talk. Like I always say to people, talk in front of the mirror, like read script stuff on it. The second most important thing for any presenter is prep work. So Jinx was filming on a Monday. So it would be one day that I'd be I'm contracted to work. But for Jinx, I worked 4 days, because Friday I'd get all of the stories and I have to talk through the stories with my producer. Saturday, I'd have to research all of the stories so I know what I'm talking about. Sunday, I'm practicing the story, so I get the factual information, names, dates, stuff like that. Getting all of that practicing so I'm comfortable with what I'm saying and then Monday I'm filming the whole day.
So this is all off the clock work, like the prep and stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't get paid for that.
You don't get paid for that. But at the whole series, there was one shoot I didn't do that weekend because I was away. Worst shoot ever. I was trash. I was making so much mistakes. I couldn't get the facts right. I couldn't think because I just couldn't do thing. There's no like Jay-Z's not Jay-Z because he just woke up one day and he's like, I'm Jay-Z now. You get me? Like you have to put in that prep work to get where you are. Basically, even though I'm not producing the show, I'm producing myself.
Yeah.
I'm producing the work that I need to be able to be that great presenter.
Yeah.
So yeah, my prep. Third would be to be honest. And being honest, like know what you're rubbish at and work on it. I'm trash with names. Atrocious. I'm a presenter and I cannot remember names for nothing.
Yeah.
You would never know that I'm trash with names because if there's a name, I'm practicing it over and over and over and over and over again. Like, say for example, we're at, I don't know, a fashion brand. While I'm backstage in the dressing room, I'm saying that brand's name 1,000 times in my head. Just over and over and over, just saying the name over again, and I'm working on my weakness. So whatever your weakness is, your weakness might be, you might be a bit nervous around the camera. So if you're nervous around the camera, keep filming yourself in front of the camera. Your nervousness might be, oh, I don't like when people are looking at me when I'm presenting. When you present, get someone in the room. Have someone like that. Just preying you. Like work on those things that you're rubbish at so you can get back better at them.
Yeah.
And I say fifth is, and I know I'm saying all of this prep and enjoy it. Like it's fun to do. That's why I love presenting about gaming. I love doing something, talking about what I want to. I couldn't be a presenter for politics. Boring, fam. It's dead. It doesn't interest me. But if it interests you, or like if you're proper into shoes or sneaker culture, if you're into how you get barbers and how people cut your hair, like if you're in whatever your swag is, whatever you're into, do it around that, do it around your interest, because it's a lot of work, but when it's fun and it's something you love, it just connects and flows.
So obviously you said this is a passion for you and it's something that you enjoy, but at the end of the day, everyone's got to get paid. We've got bills to pay. So for the people at home that are trying to get into this industry and they're looking to make money at the end of the day, like how much can they expect to earn from, let's say, presenting on TV? How much can they expect to earn from going to an event for a brand, etc.? Like what is like the sort of I don't want to say the salary caps because a lot of it's ad hoc, isn't it? Yeah. So what sort of money can be made in this industry presenting as a producer even, etc.? So
firstly, I would say if you're coming in there to make money, don't leave. Go and be a banker. Yeah, like you're gonna earn better money doing that. There's such a scale, so there's no specific, this is how much you will earn, because, so I've just got an email about doing a project with EA. So EA have just hit me up about doing a project, just a few grand. It's not a lot of money, like £3,000 to do some stuff, and they're like, we want you to do this, this, and this. So for example, me, I'm a sick presenter, I'm a sick producer, I know what I'm talking about. That's my strengths. I don't have crazy numbers on social media. So I know what my cost is, the money I'm gonna earn is how well I'm producing something, how well I'm presenting something. I can earn off that cap because my social media numbers are not great. Then you have somebody else who's an influencer who's got, I don't know, they got 100,000 followers on Instagram, and they're not a great presenter anyway, but they know they've got followers, so then they may be able to charge for the same project I'm doing, they might be able to charge 10 grand. But EA know they're not going to get the production or the hosting or the skill set that I'm giving. They're basically just getting the numbers and they're getting an audience. One of the things that's really important for people to know is when you get a regular show and when you get an event, you're not earning the same amount. So when you get, say for example, so if I get booked for a gaming event to go and host an event, I don't know, it could be EGX or something. I could host a stage there. That could be like 4 or 5 grand to host that for the weekend, all my expenses and stuff. But if I'm doing a show for Jinx, I ain't getting nowhere near that each episode. Like, so, like, you might end up getting that same amount of money for a whole series of something. Like, like that same $4,000 I would get for a sponsor on for GGR for a whole series.
Yeah.
So, like, you get different rates for different things. But one of the things I will always say is lean on your strengths. So if your strength is, if you've got mad numbers on socials, then lean on that. If you've got a really die-hard audience, leave on that. If you're a hard worker and you're a really nice person and you've got great interpersonal skills, lean on that. Every single great thing you have about you, if you've got all your own equipment, lean on that. Like everything you can leverage, lean on that, and then you'll get paid round what your leverage worth is. Because what I get paid, what King J gets paid, what Sunpie gets paid is all completely different rates, because even though we're all gamers, we're all leveraging completely different things.
So for someone that's looking to get into this industry, what would you say is a pathway or pathways that you've seen to kind of get into the industry that you can say, you know, if you did this over a certain amount of time, generically, you might stumble across something and find some luck?
Yeah. Well, there's certain things that you just have to do kind of no matter where you're at to be able to be successful. The most important thing is to be able to network. You have to. We're having this conversation now because we networked. You came to me, we had conversations. We've worked together because you were good at networking. That's why we've been able to build our rapport. And it's so funny because I was having a conversation with Joe Grind, because Joe Grind's got into working in the whole game and entertainment space now, and he's got his fun house. And we were talking about certain creators who have mad numbers, like social media numbers and YouTube followers, and they got mad numbers, and they can't get a special edition sent to them. And they'll be on Twitter, oh, how comes I don't get it? Because they don't know how to network. They don't have relationships. So that is the first important thing. Start networking and build relationships. No matter where you want to be in the field. If you want to be a cameraman, if you want to be in front of the camera, if you want to produce, if you want to, I don't know, if you want to make the next game, that's what you need to do first. Like network, go to events, like go to an EGX. Don't just go to EGX to just queue and wait in lines. Go to every single booth and introduce yourself to people. Get business cards made. You can get business cards made for, I don't know, I think they do sales. You can get them for like $3.99 or something like that. Cheap. For like 50 business cards. Get 50 business cards and then thing. And then get into the frame of, all right, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. A lot of people will be like, say, don't do nothing unless they're paying you. Fam, I did a lot without getting paid, and I still do a lot of things without getting paid. Like, if you come in, if you decide tomorrow, like if I decided tomorrow, I'm changing my career path again, and I don't know, I want to be a architect. I might not get no architect work. I might have to go and intern. Kanye West interned. When he said he was doing the fashion stuff, he had to go and intern for the fashion brands for free. And he's got P, fam. And then man, they were like, we ain't paying you. We ain't giving you nothing. You come and intern for free. Like, so don't be scared to go and got the thing. And me saying free, you got bills to pay. So work it in your life. If you've got a job and you have to work 3 days a week part-time, and you can give 2 days a week or even 2 evenings a week to go and jump on a set to learn how production works and stuff like that, go and do that, network and thing. And then the second thing is just to be honest to who you are and what it is you want to do. Have a plan. Your plan's not gonna, it's not a straight roll. Your plan's gonna go all over the place, but have a plan and be like, this is where I wanna go, and just keep working towards that. No matter if who you mess up on, no matter if someone says, no, that's dead, that's not gonna work. Because when you get to where you need to, the money will come. I always believe God will provide. Like, I've been in my studio since May, and now having a studio, I got an additional rent. I still got rent at home to pay. Now I've got a whole new rent to pay. So I've got 2 rents that I'm paying now. Now that I've got the studio, I've got finances coming in that cover it. Like I literally haven't, since I've moved in here, ever had a month where I'm like, what's going on about this month, boy? Like, yeah, like things will always come in if you just keep constant and keep focused to it. Real talk, anybody out there, if you ever need advice, if you ever want to reach out, if you want to ever need a contact on something like that, just hit me up on social media. I'm always down to talk. I'm always helping people. Like, on a regular occasion have Zoom meetings with people and just give them advice how they can build their career and stuff like that. So stuff like that, just reach out, man, and peace.